Today we are going to draw a picture of the Scream. You guys know this picture with the figure with his hands on his face screaming. Well, today we're going to draw your own version of the Scream. Now you're going to need a ruler, but if you don't have a ruler, you can use the edge of a book or a binder, or you can just draw it by hand and try your best to draw it straight. And you're going to start in pencil. I'm going to start in Sharpie. Hold it the tall way. Now to start, we're going to start with the bridge first. And to start with the bridge, the first thing we do is we make a dot on the corner. Make sure it's kind of high up because this is going to be the bridge coming all the way down. Now the first thing you want to do is take your ruler from that dot and you come on a diagonal down like this. Once you do that, you take your same ruler from that same dot and you go up a little bit to make your other line. So now I have two lines. The next thing we're going to do is using the ruler, we're going to space out the bar. And actually, I'm going to make a third row just to be safe. I'm going to make a third row. So I have 3 rows for the bridge. If you can, we're going to make these a little thicker in a little bit, but you can leave them alone for now. But just so I'm going to make this one a little thinner. So this is like the top part of the bridge. This would be the middle part. And this would be the bottom. So it doesn't get confusing. Take your pencil now and shade this part in because this is going to be your, these are the banisters of the bridge. Just so you can see what's going on. Okay, so those are the banisters of the bridge. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the railings. So I start here. I'm going to use my ruler and I'm going to go up and down. 1, 2. Now these are going to be farther apart in the front and then they're going to get closer as they go farther away. And try to hold your ruler as straight as you can because if you don't, they're all going to be crooked and then you're going to have to redo it. So try to do these as straight as you can. Sometimes it's easiest to hold it like to the edge of the table and then slide it with the edge of the table. And then I keep going, and now they're going to start getting a little closer because they're going farther away. You can start them seeing getting closer. They're also getting smaller. And then these are actually going to be, I'm just going to draw these. Okay, so there you see the bridge go back. I would then take your pencil again at this point and color these in so you don't get confused because there's a lot going on. So I find it easier to shade these in at this moment. Okay, so now you have actually made the bridge or the duck. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make the lines on the deck or on the wood. So same thing as before, you're going to take your ruler from that point and you're going to start making lines. The lines towards the bottom are a little bit bigger. And don't make these all even to each other. Make them all like all over the place, but definitely do from that dot because these are the grain or the planks in the wood. I feel like I need a couple here. And you're going to do this entire part. I'm going to keep going just to give you the feeling. I'm probably going to skip a couple of spots. But you get the feeling now. There is wood on the bridge. So what we're going to do, we have now drawn the bridge where the Scream is. So what you are going to do, there's a couple things we need to add. We need to add the horizon line, which is just a bump. And then there's a little island right here. So we're going to kind of curve out and come back in. And then you might see it through the fence or the railing. In this part, there's actually 2 boats. They're very simple and they're very small. So draw just little U's like this. Color them in. They're going to be solid black because they're a shadow. Come up and then draw the sail. You could do it on each side, the sail. Once you have drawn that, you actually have the hardest part done, which is the drawing. Now for the back, for the part that you are going to need, I'm just draw an oval right here, about that big. You are going to need a cartoon character that has his hands on his face that he is screaming. Suggestion, I would look up, I'm gonna write look up character. You're gonna draw your character right here. He's in the foreground, or she, so make sure that your character is big, and I will show you examples online. Back here, you are gonna have two figures in the back that are in a shadow. Sometimes, a suggestion, if this character, let's say, is SpongeBob, you probably wanna make these two characters go with SpongeBob. If this character is Mickey Mouse, you want two characters in the back that would go with Mickey Mouse. So I'm just gonna draw two quick characters that you can, and if you don't, you can just draw two figures. So you do one taller, one shorter. You would have curve, curve. And then what I would do is make a line on the bottom and color this in solid. Then you're gonna have the legs come down, 1, 2, and 2 little arms. Okay, and same thing on this one. In the original painting, it's just two figures. You don't know if they're male or female. So you could make this one a female if you want. You could just make a longer dress. One might have a top hat, I think in the original picture. So you can add these figures, but there's two shadow figures in the back. Now, you are going to use either watercolors, pencils, crayons. If you have oil pastels, that's great. You can use anything you want. I would not suggest marker for this. You are going to work on shading the background based on the painting that Edward Munch did. And all you're going to do is blend colors. So I'm just going to use some watercolors for now just to show you. So you don't want it to be a solid color. You definitely want to make sure that you use different colors and blend them in. So the water is actually all different shades of blue. Maybe you want to add some dark blues, light blues. You can even add some grays and blacks in it. The island, it's definitely greens, and I'll put up a picture of the original one so then you guys can really work hard on your coloring and working with different shades. And if you don't have the right color, find something similar. It's going to be a little tricky because we don't have all the same materials, so just try to use whatever you have at home. Lastly, the sky is actually all beautiful reds and yellows and oranges for sunsets. And you're going to take your time and go super slow and work on the sunset. And I suggest if you're using crayons or color pencils, you can probably just shade this, and you can actually just do them as different shades and lines of different colors. That might be the easiest for this. Just do like different lines like I'm doing with my paintbrush. Lastly, you have the deck. The deck is different shades of brown. So you want to take your time and do different shades of brown. Again, I will have the picture of the original Scream up so you can look at the picture and look at the colors, and we will be working on this for a while, so do not go fast on it. The hardest part to work on is the bridge, and once you get the bridge done, the rest is actually not that hard because you then have to look up your character. And that'll take a little time to figure out which one you want to do and how you want to draw them. And then you want to figure out what your shadow people are going to be. Take your time, go slow. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. And when you're finished, I cannot wait to see your screams.